You know that feeling, right? Like you're constantly chasing the clock, always behind, especially when you step through your front door. It's that sense that home life demands just keep piling up and there's never enough time, leaves you feeling drained, maybe a bit frustrated. Well, today, we're not just going to chase that clock. We're aiming to reclaim your sort of personal sovereignty over it. We're diving deep into a really insightful source, Find More Time by Laura Stack. It offers this fresh, practical blueprint for productivity, but specifically for our personal lives, helping us take back control at home.
Absolutely. And our mission here for this deep dive is to unpack 8 crucial pillars that Laura Stack outlines. And look, this isn't just about managing your calendar better, it's more fundamental. It's about shifting how you perceive time itself. The big idea here is that time isn't just something we run out of, it's more like a flexible currency. It's value. Well, that depends on how consciously we invest it. So we're aiming to help you transform your habits, really take control of your life, instead of letting all those obligations run the show. The goal is freeing up time for joy, for those bigger dreams you might have.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start with Pillar 1, Plan S, charting your life's course. Stack argues the absolute foundation here is a personal mission statement. And importantly, this isn't just for your career, right? It's for your whole life.
Exactly. That's the key difference. To build that statement, you start by pinpointing your core values. Things like, health, happiness, family, whatever resonates deeply with you. Then you need to articulate what living by those values actually looks like day to day. Stack shares this great example from her own life. If her mission includes physical self-care, then, well, maybe spending 5 hours watching Star Wars and eating a whole pizza, as fun as that sounds. It just doesn't align with that specific personal vision. It's about matching actions to intentions.
Yeah, that Star Wars example really makes it clear. It shows how easily our actions can drift away from what we say we value. And speaking of alignment, the book touches on the modern workplace too. Flexibility is becoming, well, more common. Things like telecommuting, compressed work weeks. Managers seem more focused on results now.
Right, less on just showing up.
So if those options fit with your personal mission, the book says, get brave, go after them.
And this proactive planning, it filters down into our daily lives too. Stack emphasizes what she calls pre-work, basically doing things ahead of time to avoid those self-created crises.
Like what?
Well, think about wrapping gifts days before a party, not scrambling minutes before you leave, or refilling prescriptions when you still have a few doses left, not when you're completely out.
Right, avoiding that last-minute panic.
Exactly. These small, forward-thinking steps cut down stress significantly. And she talks about the witching hour in households with kids, that chaotic time.
Oh, yeah. I think many of us know that one.
Consistent routines, maybe even visual checklists for the kids, can apparently make a huge difference during that time.
It's kind of humbling how many daily stressors we just create for ourselves without realizing it. So, okay, we've mapped out our ideal life with these plans, but how do we genuinely prioritize what's essential, especially when priorities aren't always tasks, but things like relationships? This brings us nicely to Pillar 2, priorities where your time really goes.
That's a really important question. And the book tackles it with a very poignant story about Stack's time with her grandpa Herbie. She spent a memorable day with him just weeks before he was diagnosed with lymphoma. It's a powerful reminder of the, well, irreplaceable value of making personal connections a regular habit. Not just hoping they happen, but actually scheduling them into your calendar, like any critical appointment.
Really scheduling time with loved ones.
Yes. She even suggests consciously limiting the number of purposeful connections you try to maintain. The idea is to deepen the ties you have rather than spreading yourself too thin. Quality over quantity.
That makes sense. And beyond relationships, the book really hammers home health as a non-negotiable priority. It introduces this alarming concept, sedentary death syndrome, SEDS, noting that physical inactivity, plus poor diet, apparently claims as many lives each year as smoking does.
It's a shocking statistic.
And something like 60% of Americans don't exercise regularly.
Wow. They are sobering facts. But the book counters with very practical, almost non-intimidating tricks to integrate activity. The core idea is do what you enjoy. If you like walking, walk. Get a pedometer maybe, or simple things. Park farther away, always take the stairs. Use a cordless phone so you can pace around while you talk.
Little things add up.
Exactly. Stack is very candid about what she calls her own fundamental laziness when it comes to exercise. She talks about tricking herself into being active. The point is finding your way to move more. And crucially, don't feel guilty about taking time for exercise. It's essential. It's not a luxury item you can cut.
Right. And speaking of essentials, sleep. The book frames it not as a luxury, but as absolutely foundational. Stack shares some startling stats. Drowsy workers costing U.S. employers something like $18 billion a year in lost productivity.
Wow.
And beyond the cost, lack of sleep can mess with your memory and reaction time by up to 30%. It was even a factor in big disasters, like the Exxon Valdez oil spill.
It has huge consequences. So for better sleep, the book gives concrete, actionable advice like start slowing your pace an hour before bed. Avoid anything too stimulating. Clear your mind, maybe jot down worries or tomorrow's to-do list so they're not swirling around. And this is key. Train your brain to associate your bed only with sleep.
How do you do that?
Well, Stack's husband apparently used ocean sounds. He trained himself so well that later, at an actual oceanside hotel, he slept fine without the sound machine. The goal is just reinforcing that bed equals sleep connection, so no eating in bed, no watching TV in bed.
That focus on internal discipline, it leads us right into pillar 3. Personality adjusting your habits and mindset. This one digs into our internal roadblocks, starting with guilt. The author calls it a garbage emotion. It's provocative.
It is provocative, but what Stack means is that guilt isn't just unpleasant, it's actively unproductive. It paralyzes you. She tells this story about feeling intense guilt after a daycare pickup mix-up, thinking, oh, I should be a stay-at-home mom. But a friend helped her realize she was shooting on herself. She'd done her best. She fixed the error. That's what mattered. The insight is that guilt often comes from internalizing external pressures or unrealistic expectations. Letting it go frees up energy for actual problem solving, not just feeling bad.
Letting go of shooting on yourself. I
Yeah.
like that. Guilt often seems tangled up with procrastination too, or maybe even perfectionism. The book uses this memorable analogy, an old poem about a guy with a leaky roof.
Yes.
He doesn't fix it when it's raining because, well, it's raining. And he doesn't fix it when it's sunny because it's not leaking then.
It's the perfect picture of procrastination, isn't it? Finding reasons to delay until it becomes a crisis.
Totally. So how do we break that cycle?
Well, first, the book suggests analyzing why you're procrastinating on something. A simple pros and cons list can clarify if the task is even worth doing. Maybe you can just drop it. But for tasks that do need doing, it's about adopting a just do it mindset. Stack tells this funny story about an eBay coach rack she bought. It probably would have sat in the box forever if she hadn't just forced herself to deal with it immediately.
Get it done.
Yeah. And on perfectionism, the book argues it's often just a fancy excuse to procrastinate because perfect is impossible anyway. Focusing on progress, not perfection, is way more productive. Like, accepting if your partner helps with a chore, even if it's not done exactly your way, it's about collaboration.
Progress over perfection. That's a good mantra. The book also mentions energy management briefly, matching tasks to your natural energy rhythms.
Exactly. If you're sharpest in the morning, tackle your toughest mental work then. Save routine stuff for lower energy periods. And when you feel that dip, reach for healthy energy boosters, not sugar or caffeine that lead to a crash later.
What kind of boosters?
Think whole grains, fruits, vegetables, plenty of water throughout the day. It's about fueling yourself proactively to prevent the crash, rather than just reacting to it.
That internal awareness is so important, especially when we face external time wasters. Which brings us to pillar 4, pests eliminating time wasters. These are the termites, as Stack calls them, eating away at our time.
Yeah, and a big one, especially if you work from home, is interruptions. The advice is to be proactive. Communicate your work schedule clearly to your family. Let them know when you absolutely need focused time.
Set boundaries.
Definitely. And tame the telephone. Use caller ID, let voicemail, screen calls. You don't have to answer every single ring just because it rings. Shield your focus. If your home is just too distracting sometimes, the book even suggests finding a third place, like a coffee shop or library for deep work.
Those are good tactics. What about shortcuts for everyday stuff, like the news? The book suggests maybe ditching the daily physical newspaper for quicker online digests, or just a 30-minute TV news roundup.
Exactly. Stay informed, but efficiently. Same idea in the kitchen. Cook double or triple batches of meals and freeze portions for later. Saves tons of time on busy weeknights. Or make a big batch of cookie dough, roll it into balls, and freeze them. Then you can bake just a few fresh cookies anytime.
Nice.
And for all those little admin tasks, entering receipts, filing papers, the key is batching. Don't do them one by one as they come up. Save them up, designate a time, and knock them all out at once. It saves mental energy from constantly switching gears.
Okay, but what about those random pockets of time? Like waiting at the doctor's office,
Yeah.
downtime. Stack tells this funny story about getting to her doctor's appointment early. The doctor was running late, and she actually bumps into her doctor at the Starbucks nearby while she's waiting. Shows how easily that time gets frittered away.
It does, and the book makes a useful distinction here between waiting time when you're genuinely stuck, like in that waiting room or waiting for soccer practice to end,
Yeah.
and during time when you're doing two things at once, like folding laundry while watching TV or listening to an audiobook while on the treadmill.
Okay.
The trick for using waiting time effectively is preparation. Always have something with you. A small book, maybe some stamped note cards to write quick notes, your contact list to make a quick call. Turn wasted minutes into productive or even enjoyable ones.
Being prepared. Got it. Okay, moving on to Pillar 5. Possessions. Conquering clutter. This one hits home for a lot of people. Our physical stuff can really weigh us down, mentally too. Stack paints this vivid picture of her father, the classic pack rat.
Oh,
He
yeah.
apparently saved string too short to use and had a drawer full of old combination locks, but didn't know any of the combinations.
Huh. That perfectly captures it, doesn't it? How clutter just accumulates. So the book suggests a structured 6-week decluttering plan tackling different areas of the home each week. The guiding rule is pretty simple. It's clutter if someone else can use the item more than you can and it doesn't make you happy.
That's a clear test.
And for those things you're really unsure about, the trial period box. Put the item in a box, label it, date it. If you haven't needed it or missed it in, say, a year, out it goes. No more agonizing.
That trial box sounds brilliant.
Yeah.
Very practical.
Huh.
But what about sentimental stuff? That's always the hardest.
It is. For kids' keepsakes, the suggestion is treasure boxes, but with a strict limit, maybe 1 box per child. It contains the sentiment without overwhelming the space. And for clothes, she advocates these trash bag ceremonies for your closet, maybe twice a year. Basically, getting rid of anything that makes you feel bad when you see it doesn't fit, bad memory, whatever. Let it go.
Free?
Yeah. And for commuters, especially the minivan mom stereotype, car organization is key. Things like backseat organizers, trunk nets, even just a dedicated car trash can make a huge difference.
Okay, next up, Pillar 6. Paper managing the inevitable. That paperless office idea. Definitely a myth, right? We seem to drown in paper, physical, and digital.
Oh, absolutely. More than ever, it feels like. To fight back, the book champions the tickler file.
Yeah.
Stack calls it possibly the single most important thing for organizing paper.
Okay, what is it exactly?
It's basically a calendar system for your papers. You have folders labeled 1 through 31 for the days of the month, and folders for each of the 12 months. So if you get a bill due on the 20th, you file it in folder 20. If you get a birthday card you need to mail mid-next month, you put it in the next month folder, then sort it into the daily file when that month arrives. It keeps active papers off your desk until the exact day you need to deal with them.
That sounds incredibly organized. And for the daily onslaught of mail, physical, and email, the book has the 6D system.
Yes, it's very systematic. For every piece of paper or email, you decide immediately. Discard it. Do it if it's quick, like under 3 minutes. Date it. Put it in the tickler file. Drawer it. File it properly. Deter it, like unsubscribing from junk mail or email lists. And the golden rule overarching all of this is Ohio. Only handle it once. Make a decision the first time you touch it.
Ohio. Got it. Only handle it once.
That system works just as well for your email inbox. And for things like holiday cards, the book suggests digital tricks, like using contact management software to easily print labels only for people who sent you a card last year. Streamlines that whole process. And for reading, keeping up without the clutter. Audiobooks are fantastic. Download them, listen while you commute or exercise. No piles of books.
Smart solutions.
Yeah.
Okay, Pillar 7. Pete, streamlining your home operations. This seems broader, covering all the daily chores and tasks of running a household. And it brings up a potentially touchy subject, the idea that money does buy time through outsourcing.
Right. And this is a really important distinction the book makes. It differentiates between sophisticated tasks like fixing your car or IT support, which most people don't hesitate to pay for. And then there are labor-intensive tasks like house cleaning or yard work.
Yeah, people feel differently about those.
Exactly. There's often this feeling of guilt, like it's lazy to pay someone to clean your house or mow your lawn. But Stack asks pointedly, what are you working so hard for just to work hard again at home? Outsourcing these things isn't laziness. It's strategically buying back your personal time for things you actually want or need to do. It's an investment in your well-being.
That's a powerful reframe. Thinking of it as buying back time. Beyond outsourcing, what about just making errands more efficient?
Lots of practical tips there too. Buying frequently used items in bulk, spreading errands throughout the week instead of one marathon Saturday session, and creating an out spot by the door, a designated place where everything that needs to leave the house goes. Library books, dry cleaning, returns. So you grab it all as you walk out.
That out spot is a great idea. And sharing housework, always a fun topic.
Huh. Well, the book emphasizes fairness, but suggests focusing on time spent on chores, not just the number of tasks each person does, because sometimes one person's standards mean they spend way longer on a task. So maybe the other partner balances it by doing more tasks that take less time.
Interesting approach. Time spent, not just task count.
Yeah. Stack shares her own dynamic. Her husband cooks, she tidies. The key is communication and not falling into the martyr trap. And it mentions age-appropriate chores for kids, too. Even young kids, 4 or 5 years old, can handle things like putting away silverware or setting the table. Gets everyone involved.
Right. Okay, that brings us to the final pillar. Pillar 8. Play, the essential foundation of well-being. This feels like the one that gets sacrificed first when we're busy. Sack says, busy is the new normal, and we have to actively fight against workaholism.
It's so true and often overlooked. The book gives practical ways to mentally close the office door each day. Maybe using your commute to decompress, listen to music, an audiobook, not work calls, or literally putting work stuff, laptop papers out of sight when you get home. Out of sight, out of mind helps you be present.
Creating that separation.
Yeah.
The pillar also talks about stress reduction techniques, right? I love the little anecdote about Stack's daughter, Megan. Someone asks where she got her pretty dress, and she just deadpans, from my closet.
Huh. Yes, it's a reminder to just lighten up sometimes.
And other tips. Visualizing a favorite place, deep breathing, just resting your eyes for a few minutes, and the power of laughter. There's that funny story about her son, James, trying to call her a hotel room.
Oh, the James phone call story. Yes, he ends up having this utterly charming but confused chat with the front desk clerk instead of reaching her. It cracked them all up, and sometimes that's exactly what you need. Laughter is potent.
It really is.
Beyond just stress relief, the book pushes for intentional leisure. Making memories, plan vacations, actually take them. Stack suggests 2 weeks if possible to really unwind. Even staycations count, exploring fun things near home. She shares this lovely, evocative story about her family's old VW bus camping trips when she was a kid. It really illustrates how those special, lasting memories aren't accidental. They're cultivated through dedicated time together.
Making time for memories and rituals too, right?
Absolutely. Family rituals build connection. Maybe it's Sunday family dinners or dedicated one-on-one time with each kid, Johnny days, as she calls them. Or making birthdays really special, king or queen for a day. Stack even schedules her own personal purple spot on her calendar, a day she reserves for doing absolutely nothing productive, just pure downtime.
A day for nothing. That sounds amazing.
It really underlines the point. This pillar isn't about being lazy. It's about consciously choosing to slow down, to seize moments of joy. Maybe reconnecting with an old hobby you loved as a kid, playing piano, reading certain books again. It's a reminder that you work to live, you don't live to work. And even when you have a long time, resist that urge to be productive. Maybe just call a friend and have a real conversation.
Wow, what a comprehensive system. We've covered all 8 pillars today. Plans, priorities, personality, pests, possessions, paper, post, and finally, play. Together, they really seem to form this holistic approach to taking back control of your home life and, honestly, your overall well-being.
Exactly. And the core message here is genuinely empowering. It's saying you do have the time you need. It's not about magically finding extra hours. It's about making conscious choices, building new habits, maybe breaking some old ones. It's not a quick fix. It's more like an ongoing journey toward a life that feels more productive, but also more peaceful and fulfilling.
So, as you head into your week, we want to leave you with something to think about, a question for your own reflection. What garbage emotion, like that guilt we talked about, or what deeply ingrained habit will you challenge first this week? What step will you take to reclaim your time and truly live?